have in front of us Mr. Kumar Prasad Telikepalli. He's a co-founder and group CTO of Matter India. Welcome, Prasad.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you for having me here. Yeah.
So, Prasad, if you can talk about the evolution of SDVs, how do you see the SDV situation at present in India? And if you can just contextualize it from the perspective of automotive industry.
Sure. So I think those software-defined vehicle is something that we've been talking about as software-defined vehicles of tomorrow. This is actually a topic which is has been prevalent in automotive industry for quite a bit, especially when you look at from a powertrain context. The hybrids, Euro 6 systems, essentially bought in engine management system and powertrain domain integration as the first type. And I think that was the real first stage where you have seen software-defined vehicles actually evolving, real for software-defined vehicles getting evolving. The only context has changed right now in terms of the feature set is no more powertrain, infotainment, or a body kind of domain context. It is more related to the customer feature appreciation as you look at it, and hence the opportunity for companies like us, in fact, if you look at it, our vehicle right now that we have launched, Matter with Era, is completely, OTA-friendly. We are able to push in updates as we need, almost at a breakneck speed in terms of feature evolution, listening to what the customer needs. Okay, so I think this continuous process of evolving customer needs and the ability of the platforms to actually provide this access of delivering those features is what we are seeing a complete different shift right now. Traditionally, there were software-defined vehicles already there with powertrain and other domains which are there for almost a decade now. This evolution is more towards how do you get to a customer-defined feature in a most value-based way, where you can essentially look at the combined compute power that is available on the vehicle and how do you distribute the functions based on feature set and looking at functional safety and cyber security as not as overheads but also as joint development when you look at from a systems engineering standpoint.
Great. And Prasad, if you can also highlight on the heuristics you talked about. I mean, you are a firm believer of tooling companies,
Correct.
using the past history. So if you can highlight on those.
So I think this is one thing which I kind of spoke about in a lot of forums. I think one of the biggest opportunity that the tool companies like essentially PTC and everyone else has is there is an individual context with every OEM in terms of what we use and how the conversation happens. Hence, these tool companies essentially become a repository of all this information, and they've been through the journey of evolution in terms of be it software, be it program, product life management tools and others too. So, how do you bring this collective wisdom together? And with AI and ML being an opportunity that is available, how do you set a context where the tool assistant is able to make the user better? I think this is something which is an opportunity for the tools companies. Then continuing to have this one-on-one context. How do you get the entire heuristics of the last X number of years together in defining a better tool usage and better usability of the features that are available in tool to make a robust automotive ecosystem a reality? I think this is a big opportunity for everyone, PTC included, and my push would be to the entire toolchain community is to adopt it in a big way and see how we can democratize it. And I mean, as Matter, we've been adopting these tools, early life tools. Model-based systems engineering is our way of life. We have got to a product which is OTA X.0, where X is infinite actually. So I think, and however, our next generation platform and others will also start looking at how do we leverage tools from a different context too. So this would be one of my strong pushes towards the tool community, not just from a Matter context, but from as an industry expert.
Lastly, if you can just talk about the skill part, the system integration and the system architecture, if you can provide some.
So I think this evolving context of how AI is coming in, is sometimes, I keep saying in forums, we need real intelligence to make AI better. So the real intelligence essentially comes from the user or a human being. So the context of this real intelligence and the way the software-defined vehicles and automotive ecosystem itself is evolving. The skill sets that we are talking about right now are completely different from what they were in traditional context. The decision-making tree is completely different from what was meaningful earlier. The business innovation opportunities, which are available are completely different. So when you start looking at the skill set part of it too, I think there is a very important need for us to go very strong in collaboration with academia too, to create especially very strong systems engineers. Domain experts are going to be there. So the architects are going to be very, very important. Then how do you enable architects using AI? AI is not going to be an substitute an architect. It is going to be always an helper. So how do you enable them to come together to help the architect's story? And then, finally, when you start looking at things like cybersecurity, to appreciate this is not just a topic on cloud. And how do you get the entire automotive ecosystem, be it the apps, be it the embedded part, essentially come together and appreciate what the cybersecurity needs are, be it the ecliptic cryptographic algorithms, be it the pure structure of Tara, how it need to be created. These have to be brought into universities a lot. I think Matter is doing its bit by working very closely with universities globally and in India. I think we need to adopt more of internship programs to bring mainstream students into the organization working on real-time problems to really start preparing the skill set what is needed as and when on the beginner side, and then also run, I would say continuation education programs to get the domain expertise experts to actually appreciate and leverage AI as helpers, not just as a competition. I think this is going to be very important. And above all of this, I would say everything starts with requirements, requirement management. So systems engineering was very important earlier. The context with a 360 outlook with, maybe not just the automotive guy, even the insurance guy is looking at it, manufacturing ecosystem is looking at it, industry 5.0 context. The context is becoming very vast. Hence, the systems engineering role is becoming even more important. So I think that is also one of the very important skill sets that we need to focus on in terms of how do you harmonize this across the industry. Because according to me, any automotive or any, I would say advanced electronics based solution in industry, if you do not have a good systems engineering ecosystem, you're really getting into trouble.
Great, great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Prasad. Thanks a lot for your time and your insights. Thank
Sure.
you.
Thank you for having me here and
Thank you.
excellent session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.